So one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to set up base security, base perimeter. This is our area. If you have other people with you, you're going to designate areas for them. You might want to look at defensive positions, areas that you can overlook an approach. So if anybody's coming, you can see them ahead of time. So that's what I'm going to talk about, the observation point, and I'll go show you that in a moment. The other thing is setting up, in my case, a tripwire around the base. I have a line, approximately 85 feet of Kevlar tripwire that can be attached to a tripwire device, and that's a good way to set up security and at least give you early warning that somebody's coming, which gives you time to get to your defensive positions if you need to. So ideally, if you had enough people, you might post somebody here, you might post somebody over there, and you might post somebody over there, and you might have 4 to 6 people with eyes in every direction. Okay, that's the ideal perimeter. Now, you also want to be able to communicate to each other quickly and quietly. And that's why there's a thing called tug lines. Okay, and that's basically, you have a line, some 550 cord or something like that. You have it go around your leg once. So when you're laying there watching your perimeter and your area, if you see something, you can tug on that line, and your buddy's going to feel it. He's going to tug on the line to the next guy. Basically, the entire perimeter is going to know, and they're going to be pulling towards you, and they're all going to fall back to your position. And that way, everybody can be on line. So as somebody approaches, it's not just one guy facing him. It's going to be the entire team. So that's called a tug line, and that's a really useful tactic for setting up base security. Okay, so in my next section, I'm going to talk about an engineering kit. Now, this is going to vary depending on your needs. The most basic form of an engineering kit, okay, I'd say something like your multi-tool. I mean, this thing's got all kinds of different things you can do. Always on my body, no matter what, I'm going to have it. And all kinds of uses. It's got saws, it's got can openers, it's got all kinds of things. A really heavy duty, made in the USA can opener goes a long ways, especially if you're going to be foraging in an urban area. You definitely want to have something to get into those cans, because you don't want to have to use a Leatherman to do that. The other real basic thing is this is standard issue to the military. Almost every infantryman and army service member knows about this. So basically they call it an E-tool. Call it a little shovel, I don't care. Basically it just unfolds. You tighten this up, very standard. And then you're gonna have something to dig foxholes with in trenches, and fill sandbags or HESCO barriers or whatever it happens to be. So I think this is something, you can also use it to chop. You can use it to forage, digging up a lot of these roots and things. Those are important things to have. Something like this would be important to have, because you could easily use it for those sort of things. I can't close this son of a bitch. It folds in. So where's this? There we go. Okay. That was easy. Okay, so the other thing is, go ahead and talk about a few other things that are nice to have. So a little pry bar. If you get a bigger pry bar, great. If you have multiple people, like I said, if you're in an urban area, you're going to want probably a big one. Okay, they're heavy duty. They can be used as a weapon. They can be used for all kinds of important things. This is just a little mini one, but still useful. These are just stakes for the hammock that I did not use, or the tarp. Okay, now you're going to need a nice saw. Got several different blades. Okay, so if you're building a camp, you're going to want something like this. I'm not an expert to recommend different brands or anything. I've some wire saw. This is just something I had. It's small, it's convenient. Basically almost looks like a bicycle chain, but you can use that for cutting too. So you might not need all these tools, but you know, if you had a few other people with you, instead of them standing around and watching you, it'd be nice if they had some tools, right? Now this is called a settler's tool or Scotch eye or camp auger. There's all kinds of different names for it. So the idea is you start the bit in there into a log or whatever, and what you do is you cut out holes. At the same time, you can take a branch, something like this, and you would whittle it down, then it fits into the notch, and you can make, essentially you can make furniture, you can make chairs, you can make tables, you can make ladders, you can make all kinds of stuff with this. Question is, how much time and energy does it take? I don't know if it's worth it. I don't really feel like doing a video on it because it kind of looks like a nightmare, but if you guys really want me to, let me know. All the videos I see online are pretty much people just you know, getting pissed off and burning a lot more calories than you know, than they're gonna get in return. So I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but impulse buy. I really like this. This is something I had when I was a kid, and I stumbled upon another one, and it's the exact same thing that I had when I was younger. Fillet knife, regular standard, you know, knife, and then another saw. They all fit into the handle, so it's kind of nice to have a little specialty knife involved, and you just you know, attach the blades to it. Pretty cool little device from Kershaw. Anything else you can think of? Obviously some cordage, zip ties. All my zip ties are in my comms bag, but definitely would be something worth wanting to have, worth having. Something to sharpen your blades with. Oh, and don't forget hatchets. Another thing I forgot to mention in the engineering kit is lock picking kits. So you can buy those, and if you practice with them, you can get pretty good at surreptitious entry. So it is something to keep in mind. It's an option, and it would be a good addition to an engineering kit, especially if you're in an urban area. Obviously, you'd probably want to talk about, you know, some camp gear, like things like this that, you know, I packed in earlier. Basically, you know, camouflage netting, mosquito nets. You know, that's all kind of built into shelter, but you know, engineering and shelter, it's all kind of the same stuff, right? The other thing you got to think about is a shitter. You know, a place where you're gonna go, wherever you're gonna dump everything. You could dig a hole, bury it when you're done, but have one spot, obviously, where it's designated that everybody knows about. That way, for obvious reasons, you're not stepping each other's shit. Okay. Anyway, if you guys like this video, please let me know. Please like and share. Let other people know about it. Help me out, and I'll keep making more videos for you. All right? And remember, hope is not a good plan.